YouTube photographer Ronix from ronnixphotography, and today we're going to be doing a retouching video, and we're going to be retouching this specific image. This photo was taken by a Tanzanian photographer. It's called 20R Touches. I'm going to put his link down in the description, and it's part of his retouching challenge. And yeah, I had to show you guys how I edited this image because I was getting more comments about how I retouched this image, and people are asking me to do a video about how I did this retouching. Now I'm going to show you guys how I retouched this video, and if you haven't subscribed, kindly hit the subscribe button and don't forget to hit the notifications bell when you subscribe to this channel. So this, and before I can go on, thank you guys, we made 600 subscribers. Now we're going to be editing this image, and this image was a raw image. It was taken using a 5D Mark II, and it was taken at f2.8 at 1 out of 200th of a second using 100mm lens, and it was taken at ISO 125. As you can see, I already did these adjustments, and let me go through them. I pumped up my contrast to around 3, then my highlights to around -33, my shadows to +41. I pulled up my whites to around 16 and my blacks to -20. Let me pull them down a little bit, 23. And my clarity is at 4 and my vibrance is at 6. So this is what I did for this specific image. So I'm going to open the image in Photoshop, and guys, if you haven't subscribed, kindly hit the subscribe button. So this image was taken by a Tanzanian photographer. He's called 20R Touches on Instagram. So I'm going to put his link down in the description so you guys can follow him up. I don't know why my image was taking too long to load. So this is the image, and as usual I prefer to crop my images in the default size that Instagram allows. So I crop my images in a ratio of 4:5 or 8:10. So because I want the image to fill up the whole screen when someone is viewing it in their newsfeed. So this is the ratio we are going to use. Click enter to crop. So this is our image right now. So we are going to start retouching this specific image. We are going to start retouching this very image, and we are going to be using frequency separation using a mixer brush tool, and we are going to combine it with the frequency separation using a lasso tool because we want to get the finest results from this image. And we are going to be doing some fixing of the nails. I realized most people that engaged in this challenge are not fixing this part of the nail, so we are going to fix that too. And we are going to clear out these blemishes right here, and we are going to do some eye whitening, and we are going to make this makeup pop a little bit more. So yeah, that's what we are going to do, and we are going to darken this part of the hair. Yeah, we are going to do some little dodging and burning and some color grading to this portrait. So as usual, let's kick in and start editing. We start by duplicating the background layer, Ctrl+J to duplicate it. Then we come right to the action, and if you don't have this frequency separation action, I already made a video of how you can create the action, and you can check through my videos to get the video about how you can create this specific action. So just play this action right now. So click continue, and for this image I'm going to use the radius of before I can do that, let me show you guys how I make sure I pull my radius until I keep losing the texture or the details on the skin. So for this image I'm going to use around 12. Yeah, so I'm going to click OK, and I'm going to continue. So I'm going to close this right now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select on my high frequency, come right down and select I'm going to create a black and white on top of my higher frequency layer. What this does, it kind of directs us when you are trying to blend the skin tones together. So when you're using a mixer brush tool, we kind of blend the uneven skin tones together so that we can have some kind of uneven skin. So just come to the reds and pull them down, because we want something to guide us when you are blending. So right now you can see this area has uneven skin tones, and right here, so we are going to blend all these areas together. And as you can see, I'm doing my frequency separation before removing the blemishes, because when you're using a mixer brush tool, it kind of flattens all these blemishes on the model's skin. So I'm going to click on my lower frequency, select on my mixer brush tool, and if you don't have it, it is usually under the brushes section. Sorry about that. And yeah, so these are my settings for my mixer brush tool. I make sure it is a clean brush, and now make sure this is not checked, and the wetness is at 9%, and the load is at 75%, the mix at 90%, and the flow at 100%. Make sure sample all layers is not checked. So make sure you're on your lower frequency layer. And now when you're mixing, make sure you don't over zoom in, because you may end up distorting the shape of the model's face. So you're going to start blending these uneven skin tones together. So I'm going to start blending, and make sure when you're mixing the skin tones, mix the highlights alone, the midtones alone, and the shadows alone, because you don't want to distort the model's shape of the skin. So we have started mixing and blending these uneven skin tones together. So we are going to mix and blend them. Mix. So right now we are blending. I can show you guys our progress so far, and I'll keep on showing you guys how far we have reached with the blending. So I'm going to turn off the black and white, and I'm going to show you the before after. You can see that most of the blemishes are already out of this portrait. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come right here on the image, and I'm going to continue blending these uneven skin tones right here. So I'm going to increase the brush, and I'm going to continue blending these uneven skin tones together. So right now I'm blending the skin tones, and I'm using the mixer brush tool. And yeah, when I was starting this video, I told you guys I'm going to combine these two methods together so that we can get or achieve more perfect results for this specific image. Sorry, I keep on sleeping, I don't know. And this particular photo was part of the retouching challenge by a Tanzanian photographer. He's called 20 Retouches, and yeah, this model, I should say, was really amazing. And yeah, I had to jump onto this challenge too. So right now we are blending these skin tones together, and as I told you before, I'm going to keep on showing you our transitioning and the progress so far for this particular image. So we are right now blending. So turn off the black and white, then this is the before after. You can see it already looks amazing. So we won't give up, we are going to continue blending because we have this uneven line right here. So I'm going to blend it into the skin, and make sure you don't over mix one particular area unless you are trying to get rid of a particular imperfection. As you can see, I want to get rid of this line right here. That's why I am over mixing this particular area. So I am doing the mixing. And remember, you guys, I tried out all the methods of skin retouching, the frequency separation method, and I found out this was really nice, and it retains so much texture on the skin. So if at all you want to get perfect results close to, say, the dodge and burn method, I should really recommend this method of retouching the skin. And it is really easy if at all you do practice. The reason that's why I'm blending this so much is because we had so many skin imperfections and so many uneven skin tones right in this area of the skin, so that's why I'm trying to blend it so much. So let me show you guys the progress so far. Before after, you can see we have already done some amazing work. So I'm having some issue right here, so let me try to blend this particular area, and for the areas that are going to remain untouched, we are going to fix them more using the lasso tool method of frequency separation. So don't mind if at all we leave out uneven areas in this model's skin, so we can always come back and blend them the more. So now we are on the chin area and we are trying to blend it. The reason as to why I over zoomed it, though I don't recommend it, is because we have so many imperfect areas that we have to blend together. So just continue blending these uneven skin tones, and yeah, you should take your time for such images, because at the end of the day you want to get the most perfect results. Yeah, this has been so far my best image on Instagram. When I posted it, I got so much engagement because people wanted to know how I did this retouching. So that's why I have to make this video to show you guys how I did the retouching of this image. Right now I'm trying to blend, and remember, when you're blending these tiny areas, make sure you zoom all the way in. That is recommended, so that you blend these uneven skin tones together. So remember, we want to achieve the most perfect results on this skin, so that's why I would recommend you to zoom all the way in so that you blend these uneven areas together. So right now we are doing the blending, so we're going to come right here close to her cheekbone and we're going to blend this area too. Then come right on the lip area. We mix this area. So let me show you guys the progress so far. Before after. It looks amazing right now. As you can see, when you turn off your black and white, we have some imperfect area right here. So I'm going to mix this too. Yeah, keep on switching your black and white on and off so that you can see the right progress. You shouldn't be so fixed up in the black and white, because remember, our image is going to be viewed in its colored way. So I'm going to continue blending this nose area right here. So I'm going to blend this so much because yeah, we had so many dark tones right on the nose area, so that's why I really want to. And keep on reducing or increasing your brush using the brackets on the keyboard. I forgot to tell you that, the left and the right brackets, to increase or decrease your brush size. So just continue blending these uneven skin tones together. So we are currently doing this. As you can see, we are almost done with the face area. Right now we are almost done, I should say, and for those that remain, we are going to use the second frequency separation method, that is using the lasso tool and the Gaussian blur, because at the end of the day we want to achieve the most perfect results from this portrait. I should say we are done with the face, so we have to see the progress. So before after, it is natural and it looks amazing. So we are going to come right down to the neck area and we are going to blend this area too. Remember, the issue is most people, when they do frequency separation, they tend to ignore or forget mixing and working on the neck area. And yeah, the image will look great, but someone will look at it like the head was just attached to the model. So if you forget the neck area, you may end up getting those questions in people's heads whenever they view your portrait. So make sure you don't miss out on this area. And guys, if you're watching and haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And yeah, we are going to continue creating this content so that you guys can practice and retouch your images. And if at all you are a photographer out there, in this lockdown period there has been so many retouching challenges, and if you really want to up your retouching game, you should get to your Instagram and look out for those retouching challenges so that you can improve on your retouching as a photographer or as a retoucher. So I would recommend that you always have to engage in these challenges. So right now we are going to continue mixing this shoulder area, and as you can see, I'm mixing these highlights alone. We have some midtones and we have some kind of shadows right here. So let me show you guys the progress so far, because I don't want to be really like a dictator on this video. So I'm going to show you guys the progress for this image. So turn off the black and white, before after. You can see how amazing this looks. So we're going to come to the arm area and we're going to blend these little skin tones together. And yeah, let me get into that, because I've done enough of the talking and you guys may be bored or stressed out, I don't know. And let me blend this so quick so that I can get into the next step of our retouching. So yeah, make sure you kind of blend this so much so that yeah, we can get the most perfect and the best impression out of our photos. And remember, it is these little things that people forget, and they kind of get some mediocre work posted out there. So remember, you don't miss out on these vital details. I think we are done with the first method. So this was our image. Let me zoom in. So this was the image before after. You can see we have blended most of the areas. So I'm going to delete the black and white layer. Make sure you're on your lower frequency and just come right here, select your lasso tool, and just come and select a particular area of the skin. So we're going to select this particular area, and remember, when you're selecting, follow the shape of the area you're selecting. I don't know if I made sense. Make sure your feathering is at 30 before you select, and come to filter, blur, Gaussian blur. And remember, I kind of got a method where I can easily achieve my best results. So remember, when we apply this radius of 12, the trick is I found out that when you multiply this by 3, you get 36. So whatever your radius is right now, what you selected, when you are doing our frequency separation action, the radius you use, multiply it by 3 and add 2. So this will be 38 for me. That is the trick. And so go on selecting various areas of the skin and applying it to the rest of the image. Right click, Gaussian blur, here deselect, yeah, right, yeah, like that. Just go on selecting these areas of the skin and don't miss out because this is like our final frequency separation and we wouldn't want to go on doing the previous method of mixing. So that's why I am really careful when I'm doing this. And remember, when you're selecting the areas of the skin, make sure you're really perfect and you don't cross over these borders of the skin. Be careful while doing this. So just come right here and select, right click, then you'll get the Gaussian blur pop-up, then click on it like that. So come right here and do the same. I'm going to zoom all the way in because we have some tiny areas that we want to work on. So I'm going to come right here. Make sure on the eyebrow you don't get close because our radius is too high and it may end up selecting color from the eyebrow area. So just come right here and right click, click on Gaussian blur, and to be done, just click on the space to get rid of your selection. Right click, then click somewhere on the space to get rid of the selection. So I'm on the nose area. Right click, apply the effect. So we have something dark here. Remember, I'm avoiding the highlight because when you apply it on the highlight, it may end up distorting. The highlights on the nose area. So make sure you go easy on that. Just come right here, select, right click, click, then click on the space. So right now what we are doing, we are kind of using the second method of frequency separation on the model's skin. And remember, we want to achieve the most perfect results on this image. Right click, you're seeing my selections. I'm kind of selecting according to the shape of the model's skin. So you can see we are done with that. So I won't abandon these fingers because I want to apply the effect there too. Yeah, I want to create those even tones on the hands too. So take your time because this is a glamour or beauty portrait and you would like to get the most perfect results as possible for this particular image. So we are done with this. So right now let me show you guys the progress, and this is the before after. You can see even with the blemishes in the photo, most of them are non-evident right now. So select your high frequency and you can use either your stamp or you can use your patch or you can use the healing brush tool. But for this image I'm going to use the clone stamp tool because I found it most effective while removing the blemishes from the skin. So I'm going to sample, click Alt, hold down Alt and sample and remove the blemish. So I'm going to be quick with this, even if I'm not perfect enough while removing these blemishes. I want to show you guys how it is done. So continue sampling and removing these. I'm sorry if you can tell, you can hear some clicks. I'm using my laptop and I'm using my touchpad on my laptop, so if at all you can hear some little clicks, yeah, that's the reason as to why. And guys, if you haven't subscribed, remember to hit the subscribe button. So, and don't forget to click on the notifications bell so that you don't miss out on new videos every time we upload on this channel. So continue sampling and removing the blemishes. Sample from where the blemish is not and click on the blemish to remove it. So you can see how this is. So we are done with that area. So we are going to come right here and we are going to remove these blemishes, and you can see the perfect work the stamp is doing to remove these simple blemishes from the model's skin. And yeah, so remember we started by using the mixture brush tool. Then this is like an overview for our editing so far. We use the mixture brush tool to blend the skin tones, and for perfections we added our frequency separation, but this time we are using the lasso tool method of retouching. And yeah, we fine-tune the image even more, so you can see now. Right now, after that, we remove these simple blemishes from the model skin. Remember, it is these vital adjustments. It is these vital adjustments that make a difference to your portraits at the end of the day. So continue removing these blemishes and don't get tired so quick, because yeah, there are these tiny details that make a difference and make you stand out as a photographer or retoucher. So continue removing these simple blemishes and perfect your portraits at the end of the day. So right now we are removing these simple blemishes. Let me show you guys the before and the after. So this is the before after. Remember, keep on checking your progress to motivate yourself. So we are done with that. So I want to fix this nail area right now, because I don't want to come back. And remember, I have some simple tiny blemishes right here. Let me first get rid of them. And on the lip area we have, yeah, I had to get rid of those. So let me also fix this lip, because we have some tiny areas where the lipstick may have missed out. So guys, if you haven't subscribed, remember to subscribe and drop a comment or hit the like button on this video if at all you're learning something, and you can actually advise me, or if at all you know of a better method of retouching, yeah, so I can learn from you guys. So I'm going to sample from this area right here, and I'm going to paint down because I want to prolong this nail polish. I don't know if it is nail polish or varnish, I don't know. So sample and paint. I'm going to sample from here and paint right here. I'm kind of prolonging this nail, the nail varnish, so that it kind of fills up this area. It may not be perfect, yeah, but just try to fix it. Remember, this is beauty and it is more of a glamour kind of look, so make sure you kind of fix that. Yeah, fix and fix. Don't get tired of retouching. Retouching should be like your hobby. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit. So you can see right now we are trying to fix this nail area. You can see before after, and remember, I'm having some little cracks right now on this area. So I've selected my other This right now is a spot, and I'm going to try to fix this. So I'm trying to remove these little intersections I had put. So I just kind of wanted to flatten that area so that it kind of looks natural. Now you can see it kind of looks natural. Yeah, right now we are going to start color grading this image, and before we can color grade, we are going to first of all dodge and burn this image, and we're going to be using our curves. Just come, select your curves. First of all, you're going to brighten it, and make sure this is selected. Ctrl I to invert. So you're going to name this dodge. Remember, when we are brightening the areas, we dodge the highlights and we burn the shadows. So that is easy to say. Come right here, and right now we're going to darken. Ctrl I to invert the layer. Remember, we're going to be painting using a white brush, so we're going to name this burn, and select the two layers. Ctrl G to put them in the group, and we're going to name this D and B for dodge and burn, and select your burn. Create a black and white because we want something to guide us when we are dodging and burning, so darken it all the way. Turn off your frequency separation and click on your brush. Make sure your opacity is at around 13%. So select your dodge layer first and look for those highlights, and we enhance them. And right now we are enhancing these little highlights on the image that we may have flattened while we are doing our frequency separation. So we have a highlight right here and a highlight right here, and yeah, we have some little highlights here. Then we have a highlight right on here. Then we have this highlight right here. So I think that's done. Come to your burn. Remember, now it is too dark. Remember, this is fine. Click on your burn layer again, and now we're going to darken. Then come right here. So I think we are done with that. So I'm going to come to the hair, and I'm going to darken the hair too. I'm going to delete my black and white, turn on my frequency separation layer. So before, after, you can see how this looks, and it looks amazing right now. And right now what I'm going to do, I'm going to make this pop a little bit more. I'm going to burn there, and on the lip area you can see right now I'm enhancing her makeup using the burn. So this is the before after. You can see, yeah, it is subtle but enough. So we are done with the dodging and burning. So before after, you can see how amazing it looks. So we are going to start color grading this particular image. Just come, create a black and white layer, come to the blending, and you're going to use multiply. Click on multiply. So it will be too dark right now. Just come and reduce on the opacity. I'm going to use 18 for this image. Come right to the selective color. I'm going to add cyans to this image. Pump up my magentas to around 5 and add a little bit of yellow. This is fine. So we're going to create a stamp visible layer on top of our selective color. Shift Alt Ctrl E on the keyboard to create this stamp visible layer. Ctrl J to duplicate it, and we're going to come to our camera raw filter. So when we come to our camera, we're going to whiten the eyes of the model. So zoom in, that is too much. Click on your adjustment brush. Make sure the temperature is in -36, tint is at 69, the whites is at 6, and the highlights is at 8, and make sure your saturation is at -85 because you're removing color from the eye. So paint over the white area. You have to be careful while doing this. So get your hand tool and look for other area and paint over this white area. Remember, you don't want paint over this red area because you may end up having unnatural and robotic eyes. So this is fine. Yeah, I would like to whiten this particular area, the teeth. Yeah, I just want to whiten them. Yeah, I just want them to, I just want the model to have this little kind of glow right in the middle of her lips. So we are done with that. So we are going to come to our camera calibration and we're going to color grade them more. So you can see when I pour this, it comes yellow and this is magenta. So I'm going to go in for -8. I'm going to come to the green primaries and I'm going to pour this to around 3. I'm going to come to the blue primary and I'm going to pour it at around 7. I think this is fine, and I'm going to come back right here and I'm going to pump it up. I'm going to leave it at that. This is really fine and beautiful. I'm going to come right here and I'm going to pull up my exposure a little bit, and I'm going to come to my highlights, pull them down a little bit more, and I'm going to pump up my contrast for this particular image. So this is enough for this image. So I'm going to come right our gradient map, click on the color, and make sure if you don't have all this, click on this gear-like icon and click photographic toning and click append if you don't have all this. So I'm going to use Sapphire Antique, click OK, come to the blending and I'm going to use multiply still, and I'm going to come and reduce on the opacity for this particular portrait, and I'm going to leave it at around this. So this is our image right now. So I'm going to put our color grading in one particular group, shift, and I'm going to select these layers, Ctrl G to put them in a group. I'll put them in a group. So I'm going to name this color grading. I'm just going to name it color. So this is our image and this is how I retouch this image. Remember, I've used frequency separation using a mixture brush tool, and I also used the method of using the lasso tool to fine tune it the more. I removed the blemishes and I've color graded this image. I did some dodging and burning to it. So let me show you guys how our image was. So this is our image, then I did the frequency separation, then this is the dodging and burning. You can see the difference, and now I did the color grading to this image. So if at all you learned something from this video, remember, subscribe, hit the like button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell when you subscribe, and drop a comment if at all you have any information you'd like to give me about this particular tutorial. I'm Ronnix from Ronnixphotography. Thank you for watching. Till next time.